the free HTML course that you're about to watch is just a small part of our full front-end web development masterclass. So if you also want to learn CSS, Bootstrap, Font Awesome, Animate.css, and all of that, and also gain your certificate and become a certified front-end web developer, you can enjoy the fast link in the description and get your access to our full front-end web development bootcamp at a fraction of cost. Also mentionable that this course is brought up to you by the Takeoff College, the smartest alternative currently available to the traditional education. With all that being said, I'm so excited, so let's get started. The next important element that we want to talk about is tables. Tables are essential when it comes to showcasing data. And in HTML, we do have them as well. So we have a parent table, parent tag as table that we use to get started with building the table we want. So if I write this table over here and come to my page, as you see, nothing is changed yet. Beforehand, let me add some bricks over here to highlight my table and add an H2 here. Table. So under this, we will have our table. So inside this parent tag, we will need to include a couple of tags. First of all, we have TR. So HTML tables start with the rows rather than columns. I think in most cases, tables are this. So we have rows, then inside rows, we have columns. So we have TR for every row that we want to create. And I use TH, which is the abbreviation for table heading. And I can say, for example, name, add another TH and say phone number, and add another TH and say company, for example. So if I save and reload, as you see, we have them written like this. Nothing special happened yet. So I add another table row, and this time, instead of TH, I use TD, because TH was only for headings. And my first data will be Nima Ghasemi, my own name. There will be a phone number, so it will be up +1 1 1 on 1 1 on 1 1 1 1, for example, And we also will have another TD for the company as the Takeoff College. So as you see, this is what I get as a table. We can include unlimited data just like that. So we have another TR, and inside that TD, this one is, for example, Brian Wilson, TD +1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2, and we have TD, for example, I say Microsoft. And this is how we can have tables, as easy as that. A question that may come to your mind is that why does it look like this? Why is the table this empty? And this is actually a cool point. In order to add borders to these tables, we need to include CSS to specify the special looks and styles that we want to have for our tables, etc. But the default tables in HTML without CSS will look exactly like this, nothing more. So this is about tables. Another important point to mention here is that when we are trying to add some exception cells inside our table, that's very important. So for example, let's say that one of them, the next one I want to add, for example, doesn't have a phone number and only has a name and a company. So I say TD Michael Johnson. I say the company is IKEA, for example. As you see, the Johnson will be in the name column and IKEA is here. So the company has nothing, but we didn't want that. We wanted the phone number to be empty. In order to do that, we will introduce two new concepts as column span and row span. Column span and row span is about when we are trying to take an extra column, 2 extra columns, 3 extra columns, or extra rows for one particular cell. And we do that by adding attributes to that particular cell. So for example, here, I want Michael Johnson to also take the column phone number for me. So I want the column span of Michael Johnson to be 2 instead of 1. So the default of column span or call span, as you see, this is how it's written, is 1. 1 is the default. I want it to be 2. And as you see, if I reload, this is what we will get. This is exactly like we want it, right? Yes. So this is how they work. We also have row span. I can make it, for example, 4. And what will happen is that for the next 4 TRs, so first TR, second TR, sorry, for the next 3 TRs that I add, IKEA will, no, Michael Johnson will stay the same and we'll take them. So as you see, this is what I mean by that. This is row span. So this is a row span of 4 and a column span of 2. And this is also essential and critical when it comes to tables in HTML.